Nayimedward $, nigga. Nayimedward. Welcome to my channel. My name is Nayim Edwards. I'm your host, and today me and Theo Pacino was having a conversation, and we were talking about how he didn't like how people was trying to play Tyrese and try to make it seem like he was crazy or make it seem like he shouldn't feel the way that he feels about things. And then we started talking about Baby Boy, and it got us thinking, did Baby Boy ruin the image of Tyrese? And I'm going to say absolutely. Tyrese is in the same lane. Before we get into why, Tyrese is in the same lane as a Jamie Foxx to me, whether people want to admit that or not. Tyrese is a great songwriter. Tyrese is a great singer. Tyrese is a great actor. Tyrese is good at a lot of different things that he does, and he's very multifaceted. Baby Boy is one of the worst movies that ever happened. I'm gonna just be for real, because Baby Boy's context is not indulged in enough, and it's not really, I'm not gonna say that it's not realistic, but the imagery did not match up with what was happening in the story. So if you remember Baby Boy's whole context or whatever, these were supposed to be 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds. When you looked at Tyrese and you saw Snoop Dogg and you saw all these other niggas that was playing in that movie, them niggas didn't look like teenagers. Motherfuckers was supposed to have been a teenager, had got out of jail. He was 2 years and he got out of jail, and these niggas is still teenagers. That's one of the first parts, but in the very beginning of the movie, this nigga don't have no car and he got a shitty job. What 19-year-old do you know that actually has a car of their own? And what 19-year-old do you know that actually has a job that is worth more than probably minimum wage, that they don't have no trade or they don't work at somebody's fucking business that's just like some one-off shit that they found? So unrealistic. I don't think they did a good job of putting the context together. And we know that, and also he had 2 baby mamas or some shit. So at 19, I remember when I was in school, you know, seeing a motherfucker who had children in high school, even though teen pregnancy has always been a thing, and we'll talk about teen mom another time. My girlfriend said teen mom. She actually did her thesis paper on Teen Mom. The show Teen Mom increased teen pregnancy because it made it feel like, you know, it could be some type of reward or some type, you know, it would be okay because they would have people that help them out. That's something else. You talking about Baby Boy. That movie did more damage than it ever did, and they kept playing it, and they kept playing it because they know that, and I don't give a fuck who directed it or who wrote it. We go ahead and put that out there. I have no respect for it. They knew that playing that movie over and over and over again would get into the psyche of people. Oh, I was saying that when I was in high school, you know, it was kind of a one-off thing, motherfuckers having children. More than one kid is even crazier than just one kid at being children. I graduated at 17. So motherfuckers having children before then was just like, oh my goodness, like, damn, she moving on up there, ain't she? But 19, 2 kids, riding a bike, fucking your mama, living with your mama, daddy, stepdaddy, whatever the hell the situation is, fussing with your baby mother, all these fucking issues. That made you look at Tyrese in the movie context. It made you look at him like, damn, this nigga 30 years old and he living with his parents? He 30 years old and don't have no car? He 30 years old with a bullshit job? No job? You still out here at 30? And that's what got into the mind. That's what I'm saying about the psyche. Like, that's the image you had in your mind, because that nigga, them motherfuckers didn't look like kids. And they kept playing it because they know that even though what was written was supposed to be 19-year-old child in the house, 19's not a kid, but teenager in the house having hood rat problems. But you saw that shit and you saw those niggas and you saw those situations and you affiliate those situations with adults. That it crippled how people see him in regards to, is he worthy of respect? Because when you see Tyrese crying and being upset about not being able to be with his daughter, all you go back to is what happened in Baby Boy. Oh, this nigga ain't been shit since then. And there's only been a few people who have been able to successfully cross over into being able to have acting careers that didn't tarnish their music career and didn't tarnish their image. A few of those would be obviously Ice Cube, Queen Latifah, Common, Ludacris. We could put Tyrese up there, but y'all motherfuckers don't be respecting Tyrese like that, because everything he do, people feel like he's worthy of some type of disrespect, or he's warranted some type of hostility being towards him because of a movie role. Because a lot of times when we watch movies, I must just say it, people are fucking retarded, and people associate the things they see with reality. This is why we talk about Sukihana and the image, because yes, you might be able to tell children, hey, that's not a real thing, that's pretend. But a lot of people, most people I would say, don't associate what we do as fake. You don't look at Arnold Schwarzenegger and say, oh shit, the governor of California about to pull off the skin in his radioactive arm and shoot up the whatever the fuck. I never saw Terminator. But you don't, well, I don't remember seeing it. That shit came out when I was like 3. Or I don't think I was born when it came out. It doesn't matter. You don't see people acting in movies and feel like, you know, damn, he really gonna do that. Like, he's really gonna be that person. You know, nobody looked at Will Smith and really felt like he was Hancock. Or, that's probably not a good example with that Jada shit. Nobody looked at Will Smith and felt like everything he did. Nobody looked at Denzel Washington in those movies. You can see their personalities and who they are, it shines through, and who they are is radiant or whatever. But at the back of your mind, you know that nigga is an actor. This shit is fake. You niggas don't think Denzel Washington is Malcolm X. You niggas don't think Vin Diesel can drive. Be for real. Like, but when you play a role so fucking well, people burn that into their mind. Look at those niggas, like, you know, they got a thing of like black actors who are like villains. And it's just like, those niggas, they ain't nothing but villains. Like, they always the bad guy, they always the abusive husband, they play the role so well. People really start to think that you like that. People really start to believe that you have a bad attitude or you're a nasty person. And that is the gift and the curse of being so fucking good at what you do. Your favorite rapper, your favorite singer, they might be so fucking good at playing gangster, you actually believe that won't nobody slap the shit out of these niggas. Slap the fuck out of them. They have a gun in their hand. Slap the pure shit out of those niggas, and them niggas, oh, why I order, huffing and puffing and blowing, and don't do a goddamn thing running. I watched High Learning last night, and it's like that scene in High Learning where the motherfucker, like the black boy, came to the room and was like, you a bitch. You ain't gonna do shit. This nigga got the gun in his hand, pointing the gun. Like, this nigga pointing the gun, didn't shoot nobody. Threats, yelling, screaming, crying, tearing shit up. Didn't do a goddamn thing. That's how, you know, people get into these roles and they're just so good at them, and people really take that shit serious. It makes society to believe, because the retarded people out there are not teaching their children. That's fantasy. And their children don't have direction to see what is real and what is fake. So you play Baby Boy 20 years ago, you grow up and people is laughing at you like that's really who you are. When you really hurt about the situation you in, you really standing up for yourself in a situation about, hey, I can date whoever the fuck I want to. You fuck niggas ain't gonna do nothing about it. We two consenting adults. But they still looking at you like Jody. They'll call you Jody. Remember, Ice Cube got The Check Yourself by Ice Cube. I got dough, but don't call me Doughboy. Doughboy, that character from Boys in the Hood or whatever the fuck that movie was he was in. Like, these people become so good. Ice Cube's a very good example of that. But we'll talk about him another day. I'm just like, Baby Boy completely tarnished and ruined the image of Tyrese. It's that simple. That is exactly what happened. If you have a dispute or you want to add, all good, drop it in the comment section. My name is Nayim. NAYIMEDWARD $, nigga. NAYIMED.